will come to the fore, and if they have got the legs and they can keep the intensity that they've played at, then I think they stand a very good chance in this encounter.
Yeah, that word intensity of yours is perhaps a very vital one for any success for the men from South America. We know the Canadians have a rich experience in their team, as well as a lot of youngsters. They're busy rebuilding again after the years of so many good players that they had, like John Moonlight and Phil Mack, Nathan Mariyama. And these guys who served Canada for so well over so many years. But of course, like with anything, players need to retire, players need to be replaced. And you need to build the team that you've got. But this Chile team has been excellent in this tournament. Comfortable line out for Canada. And now the little run around. There's an extra man here. But can they worm their way around the outside? That they can't do. The Chileans are absolutely well set defensively there. And wonders just how tight this game might well be at the end of the day. Player held up at the moment. This could, oh, down he goes. So Canada will have the possession. And certainly have got some real live wires in their side, do the Canadians. One of them you'll see quite a lot of is Morgan Doneto. He is very much the playmaker in that back line. Now, quick take here from Chile. Excellent play from them. They've wound their way about 10-15 meters upfield and then sadly losing the possession.
There's the intensity we spoke about at the breakdown, counter-rucking. Not something we've seen from them too often throughout the weekend. But maybe they've just gone and done their homework on this Canadians, not committing enough players to the ruck, so the Chileans are looking at targeting the breakdown.
Well, they did that very effectively there. Got themselves into an attacking position, although they don't have the put in at the scrum. Canada close to midfield scrummage, so options for them too. Decide to come to the left-hand side, and then the change of direction. Now, here's where the pace counts, and it absolutely is vital. The Canadians trying to find a hole in the middle of the defense, and that they've just done. Excellent try there for Johnny Franklin. The conversion is good, so Canada 7 points up. That was straight down the middle.
Yeah, straight down the middle, showing a clean pair of heels.
In fact, not Johnny Franklin, it was Carl Tremblay that actually got over. He was the man that ran into that space too. Clever play from them. Now, change of direction with the kickoff. Thomas Isherwood's kick has gone directly into touch. He'll come back to the halfway line. Ball always left in the hands of Diego Warnken, their captain. He's the man taking the little tap. As they search now for a potential hole somewhere along the line. Well, the little inside out is a very good effort, that, and yeah, this is what Chile, this is what we've seen over the last 2 days. Some exceptional rugby from them. Very intelligent, good peripheral vision. They knew where they stood on the field. And some defensive lapses, one's got to say, from the Canadians.
Very dangerous in those wide channels are the Chileans. I'll have to see a stat about the amount of tries that they've scored from putting the ball in the wide channels. Of course, conversions may play a role towards the back end of this game, so very important that the conversion is good.
It's absolutely vital. The more games you play, the more important those conversions become. You wind down when you will, or you wind up to playing in a final. You want to make sure of every kick that goes over, which means you want to try and score closer to the uprights if you can. Ball not taken in and not released, so Chile will have the put in at the scrum.
23.
Great take out of the air there from Isherwood. They're not just having the presence of mind to maybe just go down on one knee straight away, form that ruck, set it up. Again, adversely, Chileans immediately trying to get under the ball, hold him up,
Crouch.
force that maul, get hands on it, and
5.
create the turnover.
Did a pretty good job with it
Set.
too. Womkin looking to run into space. And the accuracy of the Chileans, I think, is also something to be marveled at in the last couple of days. Looking to try and replicate that now in the final. It's such a big day for them. We saw them singing their anthem in absolutely full voice.
23.
So they have a call here, and they've decided to go with the scrummage. So again, I think perhaps one of their hallmarks has been their ability to do the basics well. Chile, even although they haven't scored as many tries as what Canada have in this tournament, they've certainly looked a dangerous side with everything they've done. And most of their efforts, in my opinion, have not just been with that man in picture there with the ball, Diego Womkin, but it's been their whole team, their team effort.
Yeah, no surprise they'd ask for a scrum in an environment like this. Creates so much more space for their speedsters out wide.
So route one was the call on that occasion. See, they really are foraging and looking for opportunities, happy to go straight and then close off that or breakdown point. They put pressure on Canada at the breakdown. They won another penalty, so they probably another scrum, will it?
Over here.
I see no reason why not to, exactly that.
Now it just opens up space for them. I think they work space so well too. That's the other thing. But also not too much lateral running, and you'll know as a centre three-quarter in the 15s game how important it is for you to be able to straighten the line at the right time. Sometimes you've got to use lateral movement, but then you've got to straighten up and just creates more space out wide. Yeah, they come back in field and they've got another one. The Canadians failing to make the important tackle there, the first time tackle. Excellent play there from Chile with a try going to Lucas Trabucci. Chile leading by 2 tries to 1. It is, and they've done just such a good job. Just have a look at how well they constructed this try. Beautiful finish, lovely little dummy pass, and the missed tackle on the inside is something that the Canadians don't want to have happen to them. So halftime then it is, Chile with 14, Canada 7. So it's Canada who are behind at the moment to Chile. The Canadians have done well to keep that ball back in field.
Unbelievable restart.
A little tap down. Must be a basketball player.
7.
So penalty here for Canada. Now what do they do? Do they kick it out to the corner?
Concentrate, stick it inside the 22. We know their line out works wonderfully.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly the right thing to do. Well, it hasn't been a great kick, one's got to say. Having said that, they're in the opposition half of the field, and that's where they want to play their rugby.
You know, the real problem is if you don't kick it more than 10 meters, you might as well just run at the 10 because you get a given free 10 meters anyway.
But you don't know about that before the time. Eh? You only find out afterwards.
The chance you take.
Said, oh dear, that screwed off my boot.
Time off. So,
Couple of changes being made here by the Canadians.
hold that. Time on.
So they've brought on Jamie Armstrong, who they've used quite a lot in and out of the team. That ball knocking straight in the line out, which we've seen a fair number of, one's got to say, and one would assume that in a shortened line out like that, you're not going to have a difficulty with throwing it in straight. And there's no wind to speak of, that's the other thing. It's pretty wind-free
Come back on.
inside
Come
this
on.
stadium.
Come forward.
It's just a lapse in concentration and focus.
Crouch.
Finals can sometimes make you do strange things.
Set.
Yeah.
The pressure of a final.
The bottom line is there's 2 tries to 1 at the moment. It's an awful pass. Can the Chileans do something about cleaning that up? Well, they've done that with 2 missed tackles. Canada, rather surprisingly, have not defended as well as we've seen them in previous matches. As a result of that, they've foregone 2 tries.
You're on the mark.
And this Chile side really looks hungry. Diego Womkin is going to kick down towards the corner flag. Up to the 22. Again, I think the territorial focus that both of these teams probably have right now is of critical importance. Stay in the opposition half of the field.
Come off.
Search for opportunities there.
They'll force this Canadian side to go long distances to score tries.
Time back on.
And they're making a lot of changes too. So they've brought on Alex Russell, who's a very experienced player. Oh dear, was that a forward pass? No, the referee says you can go. And they've got another try. This is brilliant play this by the Chileans. Again, it's Lucas Ramucci who manages to get that try. The 3rd one for the South Americans.
Well, Gav, you spoke about them being a well-drilled side. That is straight off the training ground. Off the top, a little run around in the front corner and then playing through that vacuum that exists just back of the line out in between that first receiver.
Very important conversion, this too. To make sure that their 21 points will require 2 converted tries to catch up. And this was the finishing touches. Some outstanding play from them. And good channel running too. Just a change of direction there. You get onto the soft tackle of the left arm of the defender and you find your way through. Well, yeah, they come with another one. Oh, my goodness. Within a minute, they've got another one, Chile. And it's also in a very kickable position.
Oh, direct rugby here from the Chileans is the order of the day. What you'd have expected them to play against this big, strong Canadian side. But they've fought fire with fire in this final.
They're just running away with it, aren't they? Luca Avelli, and there's the finishing touches. I think he's done himself a mischief in the meanwhile, so he's left the field. The replacements are on for Chile. And I'm sure that those replacements actually want to have a run in a final too. They can't wait to get onto the field.
Oh, well, 3 minutes to play. Would you say it's all but dead and buried? I'm not so sure.
Must be close to that.
Sevens rugby.
And I think we can reveal it right now. I really thought the Canadians would have too much. You were the one that said Chile is going to win this game. At the moment, they are leading by those 21 points. Exceptional play from them. One of the players with a smack on the hooter. So he'll be leaving the field, one of the Canadian players. And there'll need to be a replacement coming on for Canada. On he comes. Carl Sager. And Carl Sager is another one who's also got oodles of experience, but that experience is not helping their cause at the moment. Chile, ever the opportunists. A neat kick in, really well contested too, and another opportunity for Womkin to get his team on the front foot. Canada standing off somewhat, having to make some desperate tackles at the end of the day too. I just love the enthusiasm that we're seeing from this Chile side.
Before kickoff, we spoke about intensity, and they definitely have managed to keep with that intensity, if not up the intensity in this final against this Canadian side.
Pass it any way you like. Just make sure that we hold on to it. And they really are playing now with not just territory, but with a lot of possession too. and causing all sorts of difficulties for the Canadians defensively. You can see some of the desperate tackles that they've had to make, Canada, are an indication of just how dominant this Chilean side is. Ball not quite bouncing in their favor on this occasion. And once again, Canada forced to defend from their line, but it doesn't matter. He has another try. Did that pass go forward? No, says the referee. It's yet another try. My goodness. This is a proportional final.
Yep, the counter-ruck. Straight over the ball. And I have to use that word again, Gavin, but intensity. They've just been that one step ahead in this final against the Canadians.
You can't argue against 5 tries in the final, that's for certain. Just the one to the Canadians. They got fairly early in the game. But outside of that, they've been swamped by the South Americans. Well, just less than a minute left in this game. It's going to be won by Chile. They're going to be sporting those gold medals. And one's got to say, at the end of the day, it's extremely well deserved too. Not just the way they've played today, but right through this tournament. They've been what I call the surprise team. They've played such good rugby. Canada just not really looking like they're a threat, to be honest, even with ball in hand, yeah. There's the change of direction, that important facet of play that could really unsettle defenses.
Push back, push back.
Way behind the advantage line they are at the moment as they try and sneak their way through. Oh, the hooter in the background. The game's over.
Don't come over.
Just waiting for the end of this passage of play. Will they manage to get a consolation try, Canada? I can tell you what, the Chileans won't allow that easily, and they don't need to because they've won the penalty.
And then you roll them to the side.
They've literally just got to tap it and kick it out.
Holding on.
Everybody wants the opportunity to do just that.
10 minutes, please.
He's going to have to make sure he taps it before he kicks it into touch.
Oh, there you go. What a wonderful victory that is for Chile. The South Americans, who have been absolutely outstanding in this final and throughout the tournament.